Come and jump in the ride, hop on the bus. We gon' slide, be outside when we pick you up. Take you to a place where you can open up your mind. Say what you gotta say, and nobody blinks an eye. You on the long bus, with short thoughts, long bus, with short thoughts, long bus, with short thoughts. You on the long bus, with short thoughts, long bus, with short thoughts, long bus, with short thoughts. At the bus stop and whatnot with some blunts in my lunchbox. Enough stock to last the whole show. Got a whole packed road. The place about to go, better keep your glass cold. I jump in, meet my other friends. Big respect, gotta show love to them. You wouldn't believe who the bumping in. Why you looking like that? You coming in? Anyway, this is Matt, that's Steve. What a rich dandy. There's Jason, there's Robin, that's the other Steve. This the whole damn team, the whole stampede. Welcome to the show. Go ahead and speak. Make yourself at home. Here, take a seat. Let your mind free. Hit a little tree. Take a little drink. Whatever you need. Whatever you need. Jump in the ride. Hop on the bus. We gon' slide. Be outside when we pick you up. Take you to.
Welcome to show 54, boys. How we doing?
Great. You didn't know y'all had a theme song. That was incredible.
Oh yeah, we had a local King Crime. He put that
King
together
Crime.
for us. Yep.
Shout out, man. That was dope.
Hell yeah. He actually ended up doing two of them for us
Word.
because we did a little rebranding.
Yeah.
and-
Right.
Yeah, he killed them both though.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, let me get the business out of the way here. We're gonna like, share, subscribe, help us spread the show, and we'd like to thank. We got two sponsors for today's show. Our normal sponsor, Habits Glass and Goodies, here in town. They got 3 locations: one on 84th and J, one on 101st and Maple, and one over on North 30th in the Florence neighborhood. And then we would like to thank the Thirst Trap Collective Wellness. They got a couple different things. They got Botox, and they'll come to your house and give you a hydration or wellness or immune
IV.
system IV.
Nice.
Oh man, my family went down with influenza A like the last 10 days, and I had the IV right when everybody else had already been sick, and I wasn't yet. And I feel like I made it through like relatively unscathed while everybody else was out for days. So thank you to them.
Shout out.
Yeah, so we got some out of towners today. You guys are, you're probably our farthest away guest. That's right, North Dakota in
Some
the
say it doesn't
building.
exist. We're in the middle of nowhere. So.
North Dakota in the building.
Absolutely. 701, baby. We got one area code. That's it. 701. You got to shout it out, man.
Yo, so I wanted to ask, North Dakota doesn't exist?
Right. Well, you hear that online all the time. Like, I remember when I first started, posting stuff on social media like TikTok and stuff, you get a comment like, oh, North Dakota's not real. North Dakota doesn't exist. So I just leaned into it. I turned it into merch, and I started, tagging it in my videos, and it kind of, it went with the whole brand and kind of took off. So, I'm trying to prove that North Dakota does exist.
Obviously, those people have never driven through it.
Exactly. Well, most people drive through it and don't even realize. You know what I mean? It's just
no, you realize
it's nothingness. You're like, what is
this?
this?
Doesn't end.
Why can I see 300 miles in front of me?
And there's like 10 different types of deer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're like, that deer looks way different than the deer 10 miles back.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Got their own clans.
Yeah.
So for our non-video listeners here, we got Dakota Faye, Eddie Mack, and DeRote from North Dakota. All artists in town for the Glizzy Fest, and we would try to take advantage of that. How do you reach out to a guy from North Dakota and be like, hey man, come down for some food and a podcast?
Oh man, well, Strawstone makes it very easy for me. He's like, listen, you want to do this, and I'll take any opportunity I can get. I'm out here to work, so any chance I can get to a scene like Omaha has, I'm totally with it.
Love that. Nice. Love that. So how old are you guys here?
I'm 30.
I'm also 30. I'm 26.
Man, you guys,
man.
I'm hanging out.
That's all right. You're still young. You look young though.
Indeed.
You don't look 30 though either, so good for you.
Like don't crack, baby.
Yeah.
Shit, 30's still young though.
Yeah, it is.
For sure. The moment I turn 30, the moment I realize it's no different. There's literally no different. You sit there and you dread it for the leading up to it, and then it happens, and you're like, oh, it's like my 20s, but I have more money. You start to get sore. Yeah. Oh boy,
I've
you
been
tell me.
sold.
These knees been getting sore
I've been
since about
sold.
25. So
So we're kind of, I've got kind of some questions,
For
and
sure.
we'll work our way around the table here. Just start same question,
Yeah.
and so I guess where did your love, or where did your, what was it that harbored the love of music for you in North Dakota?
oh, for sure. So I mean, my mom was a huge rap fan first and foremost. So hearing it in the house, growing up with that music, is something that I've always admired. So it's always been my favorite genre of music. When I was really young, I would write a lot of poetry and stuff. I was very introverted, kind of only child. So I was alone a lot of the time, writing poetry, doing all that. And then when I got to about sixth grade, I met this man to my left, Eddie Mack, and he had already been rapping a little bit. And he asked me one day if I wanted to do it, and I fell in love from that moment on. So always idolized, that lifestyle. Like I said, being kind of a quiet and introverted kid, rappers were the coolest. You know what I mean? Especially being in North Dakota,
Yeah,
seeing that lifestyle, the Escalades with the suicide doors and the spinners and all that stuff,
Big
man.
chains, yeah.
That's all I wanted to be. I felt like rap music has helped me kind of break out of my shell and become the person that, I truly am inside. So I owe a lot to not just rap music, but music in general.
all right.
Yeah.
What about you, Eddie?
Pretty much the same story. I moved to North Dakota when I was like 10 years old, probably 2005, and I didn't have any friends. I was already introverted, so it was hard for me to make friends, and I didn't really have friends. And I met this guy,
Mhm.
2006, and we both loved hip hop. We had a lot of things in common, and we played the game 50 Cent Bulletproof
Yeah.
back in the day. And you unlock instrumentals on that game. So for fun, we rapped over 50 Cent's. I think it was the Ski Mask.
Oh yeah, that was
beat.
one of the
I think
first
that was
ones.
the first beat we did, and
Yeah.
from that moment on, it was just like, this is what we're supposed to do. So
Mhm.
here we are, almost 20 years later, still doing it.
All right, that's crazy.
Yeah.
When you say it like 20 years,
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
it sounds crazy.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
It shows though. I mean, like as far as you can see, I would scroll back into YouTube and you
Yeah.
can see
Yeah.
the growth. You
Yeah,
can
for
see it.
sure, for sure.
What about you? Where'd it come from?
Oh, I mean, I've been making music my whole life, in different ways, at different capacities, at different levels. But I started on the piano and choir, and like all that. Got into producing at like 13. One thing when I was listening to this, and what's really cool is that when I came up in the scene, because I'm just like a couple of years younger,
Right.
you were already legendary status. So we're
All
like,
right, settle down.
yeah, no, I'm gonna
Legend.
blaze you a little, but it's too
Thanks,
early.
man.
But we had Krispy Kreme donuts, so it was and like there was a feeling of like, oh, this guy's leading the scene, this guy's leading the state. And then when you did things like North Dakota doesn't exist,
Right.
and you're taking the idea of like, here, we'll play to that idea that you guys don't take North Dakota seriously, and we'll show you. I think that like uninvited guest being your newest project too.
Right.
You've led the way in a lot of ways like that, and I think I've tried to take inspiration from that in my own music. Is trying to like make it more than like it's the art, and it's also what it can do for the people around you, like impact us.
I love that. When you're doing music that could help somebody, that's nice.
Right,
And
for sure.
you got more of a music that you're not exactly talking about selling drugs and gunning people down and shit like that. So the
Right,
kids
right.
can listen to it.
Right.
too.
Right. For
You
sure.
know what I mean? I can, as an old man with 4 children, I can be listening to it in the car and not have to,
Right.
just skip.
Definitely something you keep in mind, especially for me nowadays, is traveling and playing for different crowds and kind of seeing different markets and stuff. Is like you gotta keep that, be conscious of that too, of like who's listening to your music. I can be vulgar or whatever at certain moments, but it's to elevate a point or a statement that I'm trying to make, not to just be shocking.
Yeah. Well, and that's why my kids will be at the show tonight.
Let's go. Let's go.
So, and how old were you when you started the music?
I was 13 or 14.
13?
He's a year younger than me, so he's like eight months younger than me. So I think I was like 13 or 14. He was probably 12 he started rapping long before he met me.
That's
But
crazy. 12 and 13. I knew I liked music, but I had no aspirations ever, like thoughts of getting on stage or trying to be, you know what I mean? So that's cool that at that young of an age, you're like, this is me.
well, I was telling him last night, we used to be in my mom's living room with the TV remotes as mics, practicing performing together and stuff. And I was telling him last night, like, dude, we're in Des Moines, Iowa right now rapping, dude. This is crazy, you know.
Right.
Still doing
Yeah,
it together.
It's crazy. Yeah, my older brother, when I was growing up in Milwaukee, he was in a local rap group, and they opened up for all the artists that came through Milwaukee. So when I was a kid, seeing them do that, it made it seem tangible to me that I could actually do this too. So like I said, when I moved to North Dakota and I met him, it was like, all right, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is the time for us to show ourselves, I guess. And then we met Rhett when we were 18.
Something like that. Well, I'd gone to school with him before that, but he didn't start rapping. That's another. Our homie Rhett, Reddy is also in Money Stacks, our crew. So along with DJ Cali, my guy. So shout out to them. But yeah, we've kind of built not just a family together, but you know, kind of trying to put North Dakota on the map in the right way and help other artists. That's our main goal, you know. So
well, I mean, Rhett was the first one to help us out and put us on stage.
Exactly,
we were in the living room until we met Rhett.
Right, and he was doing shows, and he kind of showed us the way.
It was like, hey, you guys can actually do this. And he was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we've been packing in tiny ass cars ever since, driving around the country.
That is a little car. You are a big dude.
Yeah, there's 4 of us too. This isn't even all of it. We got a buddy sleeping at the hotel too.
This is a newer car too. This ain't even the smallest
No.
car.
That's what's up, though, man.
You know, at least it has AC though. I will say it.
That's true.
I've been in cars where there wasn't even
Oh,
AC.
no.
That one's brutal.
Oh no.
I'm too big for that.
Yep.
Me too. I'm starting to look at getting something bigger. Need a transit van or something.
I've got an old Ford Excursion.
Mm.
Yeah, and but I got 4 kids, so you got to
Right.
get everybody in it.
For sure.
So yeah, that was my answer to that.
Well, and with all your, tall ass boys you got, I can only imagine.
Yep. So if we just met and I'm new to your music, what 3 songs would you tell me to look at to tell me who you are?
For sure, Same Old Love Songs. That's the intro on my new album. I think it just perfectly captures where I'm at in my life, but also kind of takes you back and gives you a glimpse of where I came from. Songs like Wishes, which is a song that I wrote in the middle of my my drug addiction. It's kind of a look into where I was at in my life, and good, because you need a little pick me up, and everybody deserves to feel good. You know what I mean? So it's kind of the light at the end of the tunnel. That song was for me. It was the first song I wrote when I was sober. So it's a good look into where I'm at right now. So you get a little bit of past, present, future.
And congratulations on your sobriety.
Thank you, man. Just 2 years, like a few weeks ago. So
Congrats, man.
Congratulations.
thanks, man. It wasn't easy. It was a lot of trial and error,
Bro,
so hitting the bottom a lot of times.
We have a ton of friends that struggle, and props to you. We've got a couple friends that have quit drinking here, in the last year, and it's
For sure. It seems
awesome.
like, there's like I noticed that with a lot of people where I'm from too. A lot of people are starting to get sober, and it's not for everybody. Some people can't handle it, but it's nice to see that people are talking about it.
Yeah.
And it's not as taboo anymore.
Yeah, no.
Especially in North Dakota, because everybody drinks up there. Ain't nothing to do up there but go out to the bars and get into trouble. So
Yeah. That's very -50 will keep you inside.
damn right. Keep that bottle in your hand. Yeah.
All you're doing is in the oil fields all day.
Exactly.
You're just like,
Yep.
Man, I'm pissed.
Yeah,
I
you
don't want to do this.
Too much money and a lot of free time. So
What about you, Eddie? 3 songs.
So I haven't released any solo music in forever,
Ever.
probably like 10 years.
Okay.
You can go on my SoundCloud and look at shit, but I don't think people use SoundCloud anymore. But
with
as
that
far as
attitude.
maybe features,
yeah, he's been on pretty much all of my projects. So
damn.
regular.
Can I
for
say
sure.
a song that I'm not in?
Yeah.
But it's like about me.
Oh yeah.
He has a
Okay.
song on his last album called "Down for Me,"
Okay.
and that song is very impactful. I'm not in it, but he raps a verse from my perspective, kind of.
Yeah.
And that it blew my mind. It was like, damn, it's like I'm in this song without being in the song because he spoke my thoughts so eloquently without me being there during the songwriting process.
Right.
Like it was. That's how well we know each other, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, and you could give us,
probably,
something you've collabed even with.
I'd say "Keep It G" from.
Oh man, that's a
a
classic.
10-year-old song.
Classic.
but I love that song.
What was the one you played in the car yesterday. That was
I got swag. Oh my gosh.
That shows you how long we've been making music.
That was actually
I
a
got
banger, though.
swag.
Yes,
Like,
that song is a banger.
Oh
We
my
got
God.
hits from when we were 14,
For real.
but like
Dude, Eddie will always be the
If that's
GOAT
the
rapper to
case,
me. He'll always be my GOAT rapper,
we
no
have a
matter
song
what.
called Cloud 9. It's probably one of my favorite songs of all
That
time.
was the one we used to
did.
practice in the living room.
Yeah, all the time in the living room because it had that feel like
Yeah.
we were meant to perform that song in front of a huge crowd, and we never got. Maybe we did perform it.
We
once or
did. We
twice,
did
but
at like Kid Ink or whatever.
yeah, I think so.
When we opened up for a couple
But
of
even
big
doing
artists
that,
back in the day.
We made that song when I was like 13 or 14 years old. Like, I was
We
very
thought
young.
we were like we're gonna make it. This is it. I remember we were just listening to it over and over again. Like this is it. We're famous.
Yeah, that's one of
Gets
my
like 10
favorites.
plays on MySpace. You know what I mean? Back to the drawing board. But that's how it goes. But hey, let this be a kick in the ass. You need to release some music.
I got music that I haven't released at all. I've just been sitting on it. So I think turning 30 is the little fire under my ass that I need to put these songs out. And my kids ask me a lot. They're always like, "Dad, where's your music?" And it's like, "Shut up." It's in my email.
So you got a little bit stacked back. You got a few songs put in there.
Oh,
For
yeah.
sure, yeah,
So
for sure.
so is this going to be like lead up to a trilogy, or because you got more than one album there?
So
for sure,
for
Come on,
sure.
10 years.
Yeah,
I think
indeed.
a lot of it needs to be elevated, I guess. I don't know, redone better maybe, but that's a good idea. Doing like a trilogy actually. I think for this next upcoming summer, he's gonna put out a project, and the style of it is not necessarily rap. I don't want to give any spoilers. I don't know what your plans are, but so I don't perform singing or pop or anything like that. So I'm kind of forced to put out some music so I can be his opener for his next tour.
That's
So
right.
I think I'm gonna put out all that old shit, and that's gonna be the music I use for the next tour as his opening artist, and then I'll put out newer shit after that. We'll see how the fall and the winter goes, and maybe I'll use that trilogy idea, and that'll lead to
Better
a bigger
give this
project.
man credit.
I ain't giving nobody credit. That was my idea.
But
I have
you
no
in the
idea where
thank
I
yous
came
and
up with
album.
that. It was just genius one day.
Genius out here.
Yeah, well, you got a year or something, and Glizzy Fest next year. You got a place you can come talk about your album. You could be,
That's right.
Yeah.
it'd be cool to see like then a year from now type thing.
Yeah, that would be cool. Maybe that you guys are
You got a goal.
coming up with all these
Got a
good
goal.
ideas.
man, people got to push you to do better.
Hey,
You
I
know
like
what I mean?
that. That's why I surround
Nah,
myself with these
I
That's
wasn't
what I was
blowing
gonna say,
smoke.
it's a
Like
good
even
circle.
the songs from like a decade ago are just crazy. So yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We practiced a lot over the years, so I'm sure the old shit even sounds good, but the newer shit will be mind blowing. I think his newer music is like he elevated his craft so much. It's like, all right, I gotta do something. I can't keep being hype man forever because I can't hype
Right.
always singing shit.
Yeah, and that's what you want is people to elevate you and
Right,
want you to be better.
That's the goal.
Yep.
Yeah.
He wants you to be just as successful as he is.
Damn
Yeah,
right I
for
do.
sure, for sure.
He can't be him without you.
No, yeah, that's the power of a team.
Couldn't be more
We ain't
right.
shit without each other.
And if you're the only one eating, then you're still hungry. You
Yeah.
know, that's what you guys have actually like taught me.
It's lonely
Like
being at the
Chance,
table
too.
by
Yeah.
yourself,
100%. 100%. So, what about you? 3 songs?
You know what? I had some time to think about it, so I can even just make it nice and short and sweet for you.
Hey,
Chamomile, listen to that song by me. Listen to Melting, and then it's called "Canceled All Plans to Kill Myself." It's not. You should just listen to it. I
Yeah.
give it a chance.
no,
It's-
I'm intrigued just because of the title.
He's one of the greatest artists
He is
I've
an
ever heard in my
incredible
entire
artist,
life.
yeah.
I'm
I'm
excited
not
to put
even-
stuff out this summer, and we've got stuff we've been working on
For sure,
too.
for sure.
There's a lot in motion right now.
No,
It's awesome.
I'm excited to dig into yours a little bit. I've seen him in a lot of videos and heard him and stuff, and I'm got some stuff
Every
to
time
do.
I try and get him to do a music video with me, he always is like, "I gotta go get milk and cigarettes." And he just
Okay,
Got this thing
Yeah, I was
out
gonna
calling
say,
me
sounds
his
just like my
dad.
dad, dude.
Mine too. I'm just paying it forward. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. I mean, so you guys all always hanging out together? I mean, you guys.
Well, Dero lives in a different city, but we do so many shows and stuff together. I see this guy every month. You know what I mean? But me and Eddie, obviously we've been best friends since we were kids, so we see each other all the time.
Yeah. What do you guys do for fun? I mean, is it just music all the time, or you guys?
Kinda. I play a lot of video games too, but hanging out and yeah, it is a lot of music now that I think about it. I'm like, that's kind of has consumed my life.
Which is fine. You just never know. Some people are like, I do just demolition derbies on the weekend. And, you got to ask the
Yeah, now you
question.
think about it, I am a bungee jumping enthusiast.
Man, I don't know about you, man. I'm too big for trying.
No, that thing ain't holding me. That
That
thing
ain't
is
stretching no
snapping easy.
cord, dude.
That'll be the last.
There's not a big enough rubber band for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Change the
Not
name
gonna
to
work.
To Dakota Slats if that happened. Huh?
Yeah.
That would suck.
Indeed. We don't have a high enough point in North Dakota for me to die off of anyway, so no building, no hill, nothing like that.
This is kind of a random question.
Yeah.
Where did you film Wishes?
In the Badlands in North, so
Okay.
that's the one place in North Dakota where it doesn't look like North Dakota.
Okay, I was
Badlands.
curious.
Yeah.
When
It's
we watched the
beautiful.
video, I was like, that looks dope. I'm gonna have to try to
Oh,
figure
yeah.
out where that was at.
Yeah,
And
the Badlands. It's like Theodore Roosevelt National Park, like in
Okay.
that area. It's a gorgeous place. Medora, North Dakota, very beautiful place.
all right. So this is kind of, obviously you don't want to hurt any feelings, but two dope artists that you have worked with,
Mhm.
and then two that you want to work with.
Well, I'll give you two Omaha artists. Well, Nebraska artist C10.
Okay.
I'm on him. Well, I don't know if he's announced track. I've got a song coming out with him, and I've been working on a project with an artist from Lincoln named Johnny Bliss.
All right.
And both of those guys are incredible. So shout out Nebraska. They've, I've only been here, came here a few times since last year, but all the artists and everybody here always shows me love. So I got to show love to them.
Well, our fans were the ones like originally. Oh man, it's been back in the beginning. I was like,
Yeah.
who would you guys want to see? And I was, the people that watch the show were like, check out this dude.
Really?
That's how
Wow.
I found you. Was
Yep.
you got people here.
Yeah, dude. They, shout out to Justin Strasso, man. He's given me opportunities and I've taken them. And yeah, it's an honor. It's an honor, really. And
He's
two
a
that
hell of a dude.
two artists that I want to work with that I haven't. King ISO would be one for sure. And let's see here. And Nerdy, who's an incredible artist from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I would love to work with him. I've a friend of mine, done shows with him, but I've never got to make music with him. I love his music. So those are two artists. I would love to make music with.
See, I like to ask this question because it gets me onto new people too.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Nerdy, he's an incredible artist.
Yeah. Eddie, who you got?
I'm gonna name a guy who's like my big brother. He's from Augusta, Georgia. His name is AKA. Me and him made some incredible music
I got
together.
his lyrics tatted on my arm. He's
Yep.
like our OG. He's one of the
Yep.
greatest rappers I've ever heard in my entire
Yep.
life.
And Cloud Scott, I'd say. I don't even think that
Ooh.
song is out yet. but
Yeah,
he
you
did that
see,
song.
that'll be
Yeah.
on the Money Stacks album probably.
Yeah, that was a good song.
Dope artist from Minot.
And shit, two artists I want to work with. Anybody.
Yeah.
You pick up, it doesn't matter. I'm willing to work with
mean,
anybody at this point.
You know,
This guy for sure.
Oh, that would be a crazy song.
Yeah, that'd be great. Like, he's an incredible artist, so I would love to work with him. Forrest from last night.
Ooh,
Forrest is.
I was
Oh
telling
my God,
Forrest and
he's
Duro, they need
incredible.
dude. Forrest is.
We got to get
Yeah,
him.
he was in here a couple weeks ago.
He blew my mind with his performance last night.
Oh, now I feel bad. Forrest said me when he was on the interview. I should, of course, Forrest as well is who I want to work with. Of course, Forrest, you're my top priority, man.
Yeah, no, he was in here a couple weeks ago. He's a good guy, hell of a singer.
Oh yeah.
Incredible performer,
Yeah.
captivating.
Yeah.
He's got that.
He's a complete package.
I
sure.
really like music that has you looking at yourself and
Yeah.
things like that. Like I've been drawn to kind of his music too. So that's dope.
Oh,
How about you?
I would love to work with Jack Antonoff because he's done everything. You guys know who he is.
Yeah, he's
right?
like Taylor Swift's producer.
Lord,
He produced a lot for Kendrick's
Fun.
album.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
And I think Two Hollis. If he's producing the stuff that he's making, I want to work with Two Hollis. And I'm very happy that I got to work with Desi Lou. She's from Fargo and she's just coming out. And then because he's not here, I got to shout out Jan Sonia.
Yeah,
I'm so
he's
glad I
sleeping at
worked
the
with
hotel
him.
right
Yeah,
now.
he's sleeping at a
He's-
hotel room right now.
He's probably North Dakota's best rapper, dude. He's always been the rapper's rapper, as I like to call him.
All right.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. That'll give me some Googling to this
Indeed.
afternoon.
I'll give you some names. I'll give you a nice little list.
Well, that's what's up. So what I have here, Uninvited Guests came out a month or January 29th, about a month ago.
About a month ago.
What was your kind of inspiration there, man?
Well, so this is my second project since being sober. So the one that I dropped, immediately afterwards, Hell Was Boring, was, still about, going through that process of getting sober and kind of mending the relationships and stuff. This one is just like, I'm kicking the fucking door down. You know what I mean? Like, I'm starting to get in, conversations and talks with people that I normally wasn't in these rooms, so I kind of do feel like the uninvited guest. I feel a little out of place, but it feels like home. I'm comfortable when the lights are on. So uninvited guests, I'm kicking that door down. I'm taking what I want, putting my feet up on the table. So it's very confident. There's still a lot of introspective stuff on there, but it's a feel good album for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
The
Nice.
stuff we've listened to off of that is pretty positive, I just love it.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, man. Seriously.
No, I wrote down. I really liked Hurt, Wishes, and Regular.
Yeah.
Kind of 3 songs that I was like, these are fire.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll play.
I haven't
tonight.
gotten through the whole catalog
For
yet,
sure.
but
For sure.
yeah,
You got some homework to do then.
I still do.
We're
Yeah,
trying to know who's in the room. You know what I'm saying?
No, I appreciate that. I've done interviews where they don't even know who the hell you are, and
Right.
they're asking you like, "So where are you from?" Or,
Where'd you get your name from?
Yeah, it's like, all right, come on, man. But I do appreciate that. Seriously, this is a awesome opportunity.
I subscribe and
pleasure to talk to you
Yeah,
guys.
we
It really
try,
is.
Yeah. So what we got? Glizzy Fest is coming up tonight.
Tonight.
What else? What else do you got for shows coming up?
So tomorrow I'll be doing a Sioux City show. Shout out Gutter Collective, Rev. He's always showing love to me. And then
Rev's a great dude.
He's the one that set me up with Strasso, and I did his Dirty 30 show that he does every year. And Strasso DJ'd, and that's where I tried to make a good impression. But Rev has been a good friend of mine for a long time. And
Him and I played a show in small town Iowa once, just like a little shithole, and it was funny because there was nobody there, and then I started passing out blunts on stage, and then everybody came.
Oh yeah, it's a good way to get people to the stage.
But it was funny too because I was like, nobody started when we first started our set. Nobody was out there. I was like, well, screw it. I'm just going to take this as a practice, and so I just started rolling up blunts, and then people started coming in. And I see the owner, his wife was taking pictures. He's like, no. And I just started handing them out in the crowd. I'm like, here you go. And people were walking in. It's like, it turned out to be a good show.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I know his roots run deep, so it's
Yeah.
cool to hear stories like that because I've only gotten the pleasure of hanging out with him for the past few years, but he's a great dude.
Yeah, every time we go through town there too, he's always coming to our shows too.
He's
a
the man.
good dude.
He's the
I
man.
like Rev.
So Sioux City, and then I'll do with Forrest and Otis on Sunday in Lincoln, and then I go home for a couple weeks, and then I do my Minnesota run, doing a festival out in Rochester, and headlining a show in Minneapolis, and doing some stuff like that, and then that's the end of the tour per se. But as an independent artist, we're constantly on the road. I just group together shows and call them a tour. So I'm going out to the Pacific Northwest later this year for the first time, Portland, Seattle. Going back to Arizona later in the year, which I've been doing for quite a few years. Love Tucson and Phoenix and stuff. So just life on the road, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I feel like, online marketing is a great way to get to people, but face to face, shaking hands, kissing babies, as they say, is the best way to get genuine connections and fans like that. So
Sure.
I live on the road.
Yeah. Kids?
No,
No.
not yet.
No, you said you got
Yes,
kids.
sir. I got 2 boys.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, he was a dad young.
You're still relatively good.
I still feel like a kid. So
Take your time, my guy. take
I am the
take
kid.
your
Don't
time, my
rush,
guy.
Don't rush.
Yeah, don't rush.
Yeah. No, 2 kids, huh?
Yes, sir.
2 boys.
2
How old?
boys, 10 and 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You on the road a lot too, or the kids keep you home, or?
I'm on the road a lot, but I'm also home a lot too.
Yeah.
I missed quite a few shows due to my kids and playing sports and shit like that. So I try to be as active as I can in their lives. So
He's a goat dad for
a
sure.
bunch of shows.
I used to be a full-time truck driver, so I missed a lot
Yeah.
and have realized what I was missing, and this is kind of hoping to get something going so I can be around the family
Right,
more.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the work road life, it's always a struggle. So I
Trying to find that balance. Yeah. That's where I'm at now. It's, I work seasonal. I do hardscaping in the summer,
okay.
and that puts me on the road a lot too. I'll be traveling for work all summer. So then in my off season, I'm doing shows and shit, but then I'm trying to balance being there for the kids and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a journey figuring it all out, but I wouldn't trade being a dad for anything.
Oh, no.
That's my fucking true claim to fame is being a dad.
Right,
For sure.
right.
So I put that above all else.
Oh
Your
yeah.
legacy. That's what you're leaving
For
behind.
sure. For
I
sure.
said, the true wealth it lies in a family.
And being on the road with him doing shows and shit, and even working shit, everything I do is for them, is to improve their quality of life. So
Yeah.
even when I'm not there, I'm doing it for them.
Yeah. No, and I got to a point in my work where I was like, I'll quit if I have to miss
Yep.
the football game. I'll clock out and
For
come
sure.
back, but I'm
Yeah.
not missing the
Yeah,
game.
I'm not missing my kids' game. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So, yeah. You got any shows coming up?
I mean, I'm joining him on this run, but I'm not ready to announce anything yet.
All
I
right.
got music coming out, so
You
No,
gotta
that's
wait.
April
Gotta
4th.
wait.
April 4th, I got stuff coming.
Okay.
That's all I can say.
April
for now.
4th.
Funny enough, that's
Yeah, that's
when
it.
the 1 year anniversary of when we released our first show.
It's my
Oh, wow.
birthday.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Happy
around the
early
corner.
birthday!
Happy release day.
To the show and Alex.
Hell yeah.
We'll do a joint party. I like that.
Well,
We can get
this hasn't been talked about yet, and I'm only saying this because we're going to talk about it after this weekend, but we're going to be collaborating with Nice Enough to do a little show here on the 18th,
That's
kind
incredible.
of a birthday party, and yeah, it'll be a good time.
That'll be cool. We should do
My
like
birthday's the week before that, so we're gonna add to that.
a whole birthday week. Turn it into a month.
Birthday
Fuck it.
month, yeah.
I'm old as fuck.
Sounds like
I might as well celebrate.
That's
for,
right.
Like, old fuck.
Damn right. You should do like live interviews with the artists at the shows. That would be cool.
That would be,
Do a little guerrilla style version.
we're working on a laptop, and we
Right.
there's aspirations of some other things,
For sure.
but yeah, originally we were going to build this in a bus.
Oh,
So we
well, that
could-
makes a lot of sense.
So we could be mobile, and then
Right.
he came up and was like, "Yeah, I mean, we could just do it in the basement." It's like,
Right,
we got the
right.
pool table and all that. I'm
Right.
like, "You're right. That would be nice." And you got a smoker, we can cook food.
Right. It's starting to make sense.
So yeah, it worked out real
It was
nice.
working
I still got the bus.
Yeah.
It still might get
We
done,
just haven't
just,
got around to it.
slower.
Right, for sure.
But to be real, if I had to complete the bus, I may not have been, rolling this long.
Yeah,
So,
Right.
for sure.
so we'll get it figured out.
Yeah, man. Time.
But so social media is for everybody. Where can
Yeah.
they find you? Best ways, things
Oh,
like that.
everywhere. As artists, we got to be on every single app that has ever existed, every streaming platform, everything. So anything you can find me at, Dakota Faye, DakotaHFaye, every single platform. I'm there, and I'm pretty active on every single app. So it's social media. A lot of new, older artists can think it's annoying to have to be a content creator and do all that, but I've really found a love to do it. It's really been like another avenue to express my art form in a visual sense and kind of be interesting and relatable in that way. So I've really fell in love with the social media stuff. So I'm very active on all of them.
You're like, you could even find me on Plenty of Fish.
on OnlyFans.
I got
Yeah,
everything.
Don't tell my wife.
I'm just promoting here, man.
Yeah.
OnlyFans.
Right. That's right.
So how about you, Eddie? Socials?
I'm on everything besides Facebook. Eddie Mac or EMAC MSE. Yeah, everything besides Facebook, pretty much. I just don't like Facebook. I guess.
I'm
You cool?
getting on that train too.
I'll
Yeah.
probably be back on there soon just for family reasons. They're
Yeah.
hounding me about seeing the kids. But other than that, I'm on Twitter. What is my Twitter handle? Do you do that?
It's the same thing, isn't it?
I'm not sure. It's
MSE?
either MSE Mac or EMAC MSE.
Okay.
Not sure which one. But
Right.
you can find me on there the most, probably.
All right. And where do we find you at?
Just look up Duro anywhere. You can Google it, Spotify, DUROW. Just one R. People usually put it with two R's.
Yeah.
On
don't do
Instagram, it's
that.
Dead Duro. But yeah, just Duro. It'll get you
Okay.
where you need to go.
And we'll have
Sure.
to exchange all the socials before we leave, and that way I make sure I get it right. I'm an old man. Google, don't work for me right. The Googling.
They're on ChatGPT
Google
now.
machine.
Ask Jeeves.
Yeah, right. I think I got.
You guys on Bing? Or?
I think I got Bixby or something like that. Yeah, and earlier you were talking about collabing with Forrest.
Yeah.
After hearing Hurt, I was like, oh man, something
Yeah.
they could really.
Yeah, I'm in town tonight, so maybe we can
We
get
were
into
set-
something after the fact. But we'll
we
see.
were talking. Actually, we were talking exactly.
Yeah.
We just seen that. We were like, dude, he needs to get together with Forrest.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
We've been talking about it on social media, so I'll definitely have to chop it up with him tonight
Yeah.
and get something serious going.
Yeah, and I know you're just a month out from the last project. You already started on the next one.
It's already done.
That's what's up.
I had it done before the other album. I have like 3 projects that are done.
Great.
They're all just. It's just at this point, it's trying to find the right way to market it and promote it and do it at the right time because my main albums are very very much so rap, but I definitely dive into different genres, pop. I got some country stuff, some rock stuff, so I definitely want to test the waters and see where I'm at. Just because where I'm at in my career, I can still kind of try to find my lane. People love me for the rap stuff, but I think my fan base will also like me for stepping out of the box. And
I mean, music has
You
no
gotta-
bounds.
Yeah,
You
for sure.
don't have to stop at this.
for
one
sure,
spot.
as an independent artist, there is no box that we have to be in. I don't have a
As an
label
artist
telling
in
me what to
general,
do.
you don't have
For
to.
sure.
Yeah,
You got to be you, man.
Exactly, and I'm very much so. Like I have a wandering mind. I don't like to sit on the same shit for so long. So I like to try new stuff. So I got a project that's different. It's more pop oriented. So I'll probably drop that in the summer.
All right, that's been some of the cool things is like with Snake Lucci, he does his rap and his metal, you know what I
Right.
mean, and it is great. I like when people really will dip into a couple
Diversify, yeah.
genres, and
Mhm.
Unconventional Kings. I don't know if you've heard their new album,
Mhm.
bro.
Unconventional.
Unconventional
Yeah.
Kings,
Oh,
bro.
this-
They got.
yeah.
I mean, they've been badass hip hop, and
Yeah.
the Wizard kills it on guitar, but they have got some country in there, dude,
Wow.
and it's great.
Unconventional.
They got
Kings.
it's back to Mexico. I think is one of the songs, and
Mhm.
the next one's like Brown Skin Cowgirl, and they're bro. They did a lot on that album, and it turned out great. It was outside of what I expected, and it
Right.
blew me away.
Yeah.
So it's I like that
Yeah.
you're like, I think I'm going to swing this way a little bit.
I
and
want
see
to try
how-
it. Why
I love
not?
it. I love it. Let me hear it all.
All right,
You know what I mean?
bet. I got you.
So yeah, you guys, I know you're working on a project, and you're gonna next year we're gonna be hearing about this.
Better be.
Probably this year.
All right.
Got a time
shoot for
limit.
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starting.
right now.
Shut up.
The pressure's on.
That's what's up. No, we'll
Yeah, we're working, man. We're North Dakota boys. We're trying to put it on the map, trying to show that we got talented artists up there, and we're gonna keep working and keep striving and helping each other out too.
So you guys
Alright.
out of like Minot? Or?
Me and him are from Minot.
Nice.
He's from Fargo.
Minot to Fargo, and it's still 701.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah,
Every
Yeah,
all
we-
across the street.
I've been up to the original bar up there.
That's where
Yeah.
I do all my shows up
Yeah,
there. I bartended there for a long time.
We played there a couple times.
Yeah. Shout out Adam Hoffman and Ben Brooks. Those guys gave us a shot when nobody else would.
Oh yeah.
Nobody was letting us do hip hop shows. You know what I mean? So
It's a cool spot. the
it's
original bar.
it's incredible.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Incredible. The best music venue we got in the city. So
Like
shout
that.
out
I
to
think
them.
that's where we go all the time when we're out there.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's the best.
Yep.
Sweet. All right, fellas. We'll let you guys get
It was
yourself
a
ready
pleasure,
for the
seriously.
party
Oh,
tonight.
definitely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got like 8 hot dogs to prepare for. So
Bro, I think
and a set.
Direct-
Two dogs, one bun, bro.
Fonzo, I knew I brought you along for a reason, bro.
I got you, man.
That was perfect.
Got the extra white butt.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
I told Justin I'm going to bring a couple of the glazed donuts down for tonight. So
Oh,
we're
perfect.
going to have the glazed glizzy.
Ooh, let's go.
Yeah.
Where's that going to
Like-
be at again?
Yeah, no.
The Glizzy Fest.
Yeah.
Yes, decent dog. Shout out Justin, man.
And
Dude
yep,
is insane.
Justin
Thank-
Strawstone.
thanks for your time, fellas. and-
Absolutely. Thank you for having us. Seriously, it means the world. It really
Yeah.
does.
Guys.
No, it's like I said, this was I'm never going to get to see these guys unless they're around.
Right.
Oh,
then-
we'll be back.
Then
We'll
the
be
flyer dropped, and I'm like, bro, they're going to be around.
back. That's right, and we'll be back too. So I'd love to come back and have conversations with you guys.
That's what's
again.
up.
Love
Oh
that.
yeah. Well, have a good one, fellas.
Absolutely.
Run it.
Come and jump in the ride, hop on the bus. We gon' slide, be outside when we pick you up, take you to a place where you can